Bridges and Ports is the much anticipated new DLC for Cities Skylines 2, especially for those that ordered the Ultimate Edition all those many months ago. So, has it been worth the wait? Well, we're going to see in action all the new ports, ferries, fishing and offshore oil industries, lighthouses and parks, new paths, quays, signature buildings, zoning, maps and bridges. Plus, we're going to look at the game fixes and important changes to note when you first load up your save into this new update. And of course, a huge thank you to Paradox for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check the link below in the description so you can check out Bridges and Ports DLC for yourself. As always, with any new game update, if you use mods, please be patient. The mod makers have already been working hard behind the scenes to get their mods up to date with the new game version, but some may just take a day or two longer. So without further ado, let's start by first looking at the new ports. So as all of my cities are very heavily modded, we're going to be using this city, which you can find on PDX Mods. I'll put a link in the description below. It's Paradise Cove by Might of Thor. So thank you for making this city available to us. Just before we dive into the port, something you may notice already as we're moving along is the new colour of the road. So this isn't modded, this is built into the vanilla game for everybody. I think personally it looks much better having it darker like this with the lighter lines in various places. Let me just find a junction over here. Here we go. I just think that looks much more realistic than the lighter roads that we had before, and no need to use any mods. So excellent, that's a good change. Right, let's find a place where we can build our port. So this piece of land here is where we're going to start our port. So let's just zoom in. What you want to do is go to the transportation menu, select water, and this little blue icon here is the icon for this new DLC, Bridges and Ports. And you want to choose which gate you want to start off with. Choose carefully because you can't upgrade this gate size later, although you can add extra gates so you're not sort of constricting yourself right at the beginning. But we've got these three choices. Let's just pop one each of these down so we can see what they look like. We've got the small, the medium and the large. We can just about fit over there, and we can see we've got, yep, 2 ways in and out on that one, 4 on this one, obviously 2 in 2 out, and then 6 on here. Oh, that's 8 on there, 4 in and 4 out, and they each had various workspaces, employee options as well. That's got 75, that's got 35, and this has 15. Now you'll notice once you've placed these down and click on them, these are all the upgrades. So these are the items that you're going to be building with. Some of these are in the water transportation menu, but the majority of them are actually here in the port. And there's all sorts: auxiliary gates, passenger terminals, canteen, security, emergency response. These are unique. You can place one each of those per port. You have container cranes, so different sizes, train terminals, cargo containers, cargo warehouses, tank farms of various sizes, and bulk storage yards of various sizes as well. Then we've got the seaways, the port roads, and the port quay road too. So I think I'm just going to change the shape of this road going round here. We're going to use the large port, and this is going to be our new port area. Let me just adjust that. Oh, there we go. That looks much better. Plenty of space to play with. Okay, so let's just click on here and see what options we're going to get. So let's skip our unique buildings at the moment and the auxiliary gates, but we want to start building out our internal port area. So let's just scroll down here to the roads that we have. So let's have a look. So these are going to connect onto here. So these are 2-lane roads, 1-way roads of various sizes. Ah, this looks like the one. 4-lane, 1-way port gate road. So there we go. I have to say that was absolutely painless, drawing that key and getting it set up how I wanted to. There's also been an update to the way water works in the game. We'll possibly talk about that a little bit later, but this is filling in much quicker, which is great. I know this isn't all connected up, but I just wanted to show you. Let's click on here. So some of the options we've got for container cranes on here. So let's maybe go for one of these ones out here. So this is a container crane. We can pop as many of these as we can fit in along here. So let's go for a couple there. And then we've got a container crane striped. So that is a reasonable size. Let's go there for that one. Then, of course, I've got to connect all of these up. But we get the nice little barriers along the front here, which I think are really cool. Little details. Let's have a look at this one. Yep, we get that here as well. Excellent. Let's get some more roads in. Now, looking at the storage sizes of the container yards, we've got small and medium and large as well, with various cost and storage amounts attached to them. So we can place these wherever we like, as long as they fit in. We'll get some roads to pop by those. Could we have made this a little bit wider here? I think we could. Let's just delete those two roads there. And then moving between these, we're going to start seeing, there we go, that's what I wanted, some stacker, what do we call them? Stacker, reach stackers. Yes, we're going to start seeing those as well. Let's go over here, add some medium ones. Let me just fill these in with some roads as well. Right, there we go. Some small, medium and large containers. I think this is looking good. Right, now, let's have a look. What else have we got in here? Small cargo warehouses. So these I'm quite liking. We've got small, medium and large, which we might just struggle to fit in here unless we expand a bit out this way, which I think we will do. But definitely some of these other shapes and sizes. We can add some of these in here. But I'll just get another medium in there and a couple of small down here. Then we're going to take a look at what we can do with these as well. Then we have some bulk storage items in here, which come in a variety of sizes. The largest one, we'll have to try and make some room for that, but we can fit, I think we could probably fit a couple in here with the road up the middle. Let's do that. There we go. And then we've got some small ones as well. Yeah, maybe let's dot these around in the middle next to some of these warehouses. There we go. And these will, over time, fill up with items too. So that's mainly for the ore. And then, of course, we've got the oil. So we've got the tank farms, small, medium and large. Oh, large isn't too large. So maybe we could fit a little something in here. There we go. That's probably completely overdoing the amount of those that we're going to need. But just so you can see the various different sizes for our oil storage. Okay, there we go. We've added some of the other items on. And obviously some stuff's been brought in because these are now showing that they're holding some ore and some goods, which is excellent. So why don't we hook up all of this to the outside world and see if we can get some other goods coming in and bring this to life. So we select the upgrades on the port gate. We've got our different size seaways. We can see that there is a large seaway here that's going outside the city in a couple of different places. So we just need to get these hooked up to here. Let's just try with, I think these are probably, yeah, let's try with the small one. Hopefully I've left myself enough room to do this. So they could go up and around, or we could, I think we're just going to give them a way to get across here and then across there. So they can come in and out that way, round the coast, over to this one. We can add other, yeah, we can add other cranes. Let's add more cranes. Let's give this some life. Over here, I'm going to pop a crane right on the end there too. Let's hook that one in. And then what I'm thinking I might just do is give all of these access through here, in and out, yeah, a different way as well. Excellent. So we're going to keep an eye on that, and hopefully we'll have some coming in very soon. And of course, to get all of that working, we need to set our cargo ship routes, which I completely forgot about. Don't tell anybody. So we're just going to set those coming and going from the various entrances and exits that we've got. We've got a, yeah, let's do 2 from this one here. There we go. And then, oh, we've got some over there as well. So let's split these up. Now here's something interesting. I want to add a route here all the way over to Stroud and back again, but they don't connect internally. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll just do that. And it hits this road here, which gives us a great opportunity to look at 1 or 2 of the new bridges that we've got available to us. So each of the road menus has a spattering of bridges and quays in them. We're going to go over all of these a little bit later on, but I want to look at the highways and see what we've got here. We've got a double-decked suspension bridge, but I want this one, the double-deck lift bridge. Yeah, and see what we can do with this. Oh, that's an autosave. I'll have a quick sip of tea. So this has got 4-lane highway road and also below it a double train track as well, which is going to be really handy. So this is going to take a little bit of work. So how are we going to get these to connect up to that? Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Right, I've got them all hooked up. Now, at the moment, that is just a normal, I think it's called an extra dose bridge with the rail underneath. But if we run our narrow seaway through the middle here and get it in just the right spot, there we go. It turns into what we need for our test. So let's just hook that up at either end. There we go. I'll get that route set up going outside the map, and then hopefully we can see that bridge in action. And already we've got some cargo ships turning up and some trucks running around in the background. Not quite sure which one this is going into. Is that going to spin around? It's going to do a handbrake turn. We've got handbrake turn ships back from Cities Skylines 1. I love it. Let's just see. There we go. So it's all been unloaded. And there we go. Look, we've got a stack of trucks running around, moving the containers, delivering the goods into and out of the warehouses. We've got another. There we go. Look. Moving around from there. I don't know whether they've got individual information. They do. Yeah, we can see which port they're working for. So I'm assuming if we rename this port here. There we go, Biffa's T port. And then we click on one of these. Will the name change? It does. So we can see where they are. And that has added a whole load of sudden comings and goings through our port, which is exactly what we want to see. Trucks coming in and out, picking up the goods as well for our city. Absolutely excellent. Right, let's head on over to our bridge and see whether we've got any action over there. And here we go. Look at that. It's been lifted up and all the traffic's been stopped here by traffic lights, as you would expect. And yeah, it's going through. Excellent. Oh, that is really cool. That is really cool. And the detail on that is absolutely brilliant. There it goes through and back down again. Let's just watch it from this direction here. Oh, you got the bell sounding, the warning bell, and then everybody's ready to go. The lights are going to change. Nobody cutting the queue, trying to jump. Oh, there we go. Brilliant. I am loving that. We're going to take a closer look at all the other bridges later as well. But just loving the detail on these. Fantastic. Oh, nothing for that one to do. Now, what I would like to have a look at, if we come out of this menu, is our cargo routes and whether we can make some adjustments to those. So let's just jump into here and have a look at our cargo under ship. So we've got all our different shipping routes. These ones are being used a lot. So we can jump into here and we can assign more vehicles to those, which is exactly what I wanted to do. There we go. And then these ones that are a little bit slower. So shipping route 3. So we could actually pause that route or we could put less vehicles. So it's done that thing where the distance is so far. This one actually might be going even all the way around the back. So it's done it distance based, but we can adjust those, which is good. And then we've got different models that we can select now. This is available to everybody. So we can tick or untick the sort of boat. We can have more than one. And I think that's the same for boats, for trains, for planes, for buses, anything that's got more than one model, maybe not planes, and you can adjust that, which is fantastic. And of course we've got the colour, which I don't think affects the boat. Oh, it does. It affects the boat as well. Brilliant. So let's just take a look at the upgrades that we've got here. We've got the customs office, which I believe it just adds on the back there. So we're going to pop that one on, and a reach stacker garage. So I just want to see if we can see how many we've got working at the moment. If we just scroll down here, and we've got lots of information here as well on the storage, on the items that we've got, whether we've got an excess or whether we're bringing stuff in. So that is excellent information. You can make that a bit shorter if you don't want to see that. All the vehicles that are coming and going, part of the dock. So we've got 24 vehicles that are going in and out, and we've got all of our extensions all the way down here as well. So let's just add that on. There we go. And that's probably right down the bottom, right at the top. Not quite sure what order this puts it in. Reach stacker garage. There we go. Excellent. So now we've got some extra. What does that give us? An extra amount. Allows stackers to faster cargo handling and space for additional reach stackers. Okay. Not sure how many. Maybe I'm missing it. Okay, things are getting a lot busier in our waterways. Let's look at another upgrade in Biffa's Teaport, and we have the passenger terminal. Now, when I click on this, you'll notice there's an area of effect. So within that circle, I can place this port. So I put a bit of a key road over here, not connected to our port, and it won't let me do it because it's just outside our area of reach. But let's just maybe make a little adjustment and place it perhaps over this side. There we go. So we have our road ready. Let's select our passenger terminal, and yeah, we can add that onto this piece of key, and that is separate from this cargo. But it says there, gate bypass exists. So maybe that is something that we don't want, and we want that to be within our port. So I don't think there's a way of turning that off. No, there isn't. But that's a good warning, because as you're building up your port, you want to make sure everything is coming through the gate, because as long as it's driving on these port roads, there's an increase in efficiency and speed. As soon as they have to go on external roads, I think it's a drop of, was it 50%? Let me just check. Yeah, bypassing with a no gated road is a 50% reduction in efficiency. So there we go. So let's set this up correctly. There we go, simple bridge over the top, a connection of our seaway, and then we want to do a passenger line tool, and we're just going to run that one from here to Patrington. What's that, Patrington? Patrington, and back again. There we go. And then we can check out that line to make sure that is set up as we want it. Yep, there we go, one vehicle on there. Excellent, and that is just a little teeny tiny access to and from the port area. So I suppose that would be used more for workers rather than for people actually coming and going like this setup for our harbour over here. Let's just wait for one of these to turn up. And there we go, and we've got the nice tunnel that sort of automatically connects to the ferry as well, so people aren't having to jump for their lives, like in Cities Skylines 1, which is great, and off it goes. But that isn't the only additional item for the water. We have also got, let's come out of that menu there, jump into here, ferries, which is a brand new thing for Cities Skylines 2. Let's take a look at those. So first of all, you're going to need to set up your ferry depot, which does have some upgrades. I've just prepared a little piece of land over here. Let's just pop that down. There we go. So that is, oh, everybody's happy about that. That is a nice looking building. Does that have some options? It does. So this comes 42 employees, 20 vehicles available, and then we have an extra hall for an extra 10 vehicles. So that just adds onto the side. Fantastic. And then we have our ferry stops for on the shore. So that is just a very small little ferry stop. Let's find, oh, I want to go underneath that bridge over there and add a ferry stop to this neighborhood. So let's pop one there. We've also got a ferry stop for a quay, and funnily enough, we've got a quay set up over here. Excellent. So we'll pop that one down. And then we also have a ferry terminal. What does that say? Terminal for ferries allows passengers, ferry boarding and disembarking. It has a ferry terminal pier, allowing ferries to dock at the terminal. Can also be upgraded with a bus terminal. Ah, okay, I see. So that is probably going to have to go there. If we remove that and pop that in. Yeah, there we go. That was quite forgiving. And we've got a ferry pier there. We can upgrade that with a ferry terminal pier. Okay. Oh, I see. We can draw that in. Oh, that's nice. We can add some ferries onto there. Can we curve that as well? Oh, we can get clever and curve it. Let's keep it straight. Let's keep it straight. There we go. And then we've also got a bus terminal that we can add on the back too. Excellent. How many stops is that going to give us? Let's have a look. 3 additional stops. Fantastic. All right, let me just get all of this hooked up. So let's go back to the ferries. So we've got a ferry line tool and our narrow boatway, which is going to connect all of these. Ah, yes. We have this bridge to work with. Okay. What are we going to do with this one? So what about this one here? The 6-lane drawbridge or Bascule Bridge. Looks like it should be able to take care of all the lanes that we've got in here. So let's do a little bit of work. Oh, this one wasn't actually quite as difficult as before. There we go. Let's just turn that one round. Let's put the snapping on. Excellent. Oh dear, went too far. Yeah, that was okay. So I just fiddled with the snapping options And that worked out great. There we go. So then we want to put our line underneath to actually turn this into a drawbridge. I'm not quite sure if I can... Yeah, I just literally just draw that straight down the middle. I wonder if I could get more than one through here. No, it needs to go through the middle. There we go. So let's continue attaching all of this up. Absolutely did not forget to set up my ferry lines. So let's do that. We'll just pop in a couple. There we go. That should do nicely. And then very soon we should see some ferries coming out of our depot. Whee! Here they come. Excellent. Pretty sure we can change the colours on these lines as well. And that will adjust the colours of the ferries. Let's hop into here. Ferry lines. Excellent. So we've got green. Let's go for more of a Biffa red. Slightly. Actually, let's go for a blue on that one. And move. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Very nice, very nice. We'll just check out the colour scheme. Looking good. Looking good. Excellent. Oh, the horn sounding. The vehicles are stopping. The bridge is lifting. Oh, I'm liking that a lot. Absolutely fantastic. Probably complete overkill for our ferries, but why not? Let's put in a drawbridge. Oh, that is brilliant. I am loving that a lot. And then let's just watch that. Oh, as it heads back down again. Very cool, very cool. And there go the cars. Brilliant. Oh, that is just the right height. Although I haven't connected that by paths or anything. I need to sort that one out. That is just the right height for people getting on and off, isn't it? Brilliant. I have to say, I'm loving how busy the seaways are looking now with all of these cargo containers and ferries. I'm just imagining what these are going to be like going around New Zealand Tasmania, with all the different islands that we've got. It's going to be fantastic. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But there is still more to look at. Before you go, don't leave yet. Let's move on to the next thing. We've got 2 new industries. Let's check those out. So let's take a look at the fish first of all. Now, you may have noticed that they were added to maps in the last update. And again, this is dependent on how deep your water is. So they will just automatically get added here. If we turn off, we've got the wood, the land fertility, the oil and the ore. There we go. We see there's plenty of fish. And it seems that the depth of this water is pretty much even throughout the whole of this map. So we've got plenty of fish population. And if we go into our zones and our specialised industry, we have inland fish farming. So if you have a map that doesn't have access to seawater, we've got fishing and open water fish farming, and also we have offshore oil drilling, which we'll come back to in a moment. Let's have a look at the inland fish farming first. Let's utilise this area over here opposite our port, and we're going to take our inland fish farm. We're going to pop that down first of all, and we can draw in an area. So this is going to become very familiar to a lot of you. There we go. We'll close that off. Excellent. And we get this. Frank's Fish Stick Factory, inland fish farming. Right, we have some options. Small cold storage. Let's add one of these on the side here. See what that looks like. Oh, looks like it needs to be added to the road. Let's just use the in-game thing to remove that. Oh, there we go. And we can relocate. So let's add that to the road. That makes more sense. Then we have a medium cold storage. And then we also have a large cold storage. And there we go. We're getting some barns popping up, which is where I'm there we go. This is what I was waiting for. Excellent. So it takes a few seconds for those to kick in. So this is where we are growing and breeding our fish. This is where we're storing our fish. So 20 tons, 40 tons and 60 tons for Frank's Fish Cake beg your pardon, Fish Stick Factory. Oh, there we go. A quick reboot, and we've got the symbols available for these. I am using some pre-release mods as well, so that might have been the problem there. Excellent. What about the normal fishing in the water rather than inland fishing? Let's take a look at that. So for this one, we're going to start with this item here, which needs to be connected by a road. There we go. And of course, your power and your water needs to be connected too. Really liking this model. And we've already got the birds flying around, the seagulls, because they can smell the fish. Excellent. Well, let's click on here and see what options we've got. So we've got a fishing harbour pier, we've got fishing areas, open water fish farming, then we have the fishing route tool, we have small, medium and large cold storage and a narrow boatway as well. So maybe let's start by expanding our pier. Okay, let's try a curved one for this one. Let's start off at 180 degrees and just try a nice little curved pier. Okay, so we can see how this is going to work. So we have a fishing area. Fishing boats gather fish from the fishing area. Right, so this is like a pre-placed item. So we could pop that down. Oh, I see. It's like this. So we can just sort of draw. Okay, let's do this way. We can draw this in to a certain size. There we go. Within this area. Let's just plop a couple of these down. There we go. Excellent. And then we have the open water fish farming area. So fish cages and net pens are set up within the open water fish farming area. So this is a similar item, but you've got a further afield to go for this one. So let's just pop a couple of these down. There we go. And then we've got the fishing route tool. But first of all, we need the narrow boatway to connect these up. So let's just do that. There we go. So I've separated these to either side. And then what about our storage? I'm guessing that's going to go on the land. Yes, it is. So that's going to be 20, 40 and 60 tons again. Okay, let's pop a large one in out the back. Very nice, very nice. And then we've got our fishing route tool. So we are going to set this one to here and back again. There we go. There we go. That's our 4 routes. Already the boats are going out. And then these boats are going to go out. So these are the ones that go in the further afield. And these are the small little fishing boats. Excellent. And we can see an area demarcated by these little buoys or buoys in the water. And then these little, these very cool looking fishing boats. I like those. Very nice. Do we get an indication of what they're collecting? No. So there's no information on how much they're collecting, but they're going to head out to this area here. There we go. And once they get into the area, I'm assuming it's just going to be a random pattern around the area that you've drawn in. Excellent. And then the same for these ones heading out to the further destinations. That's come in and it's collected some fish from our open fish farm. There we go. Oh, we get the fishing route details on this one. Okay, and we can select... we can select a model for those. Excellent. So because obviously this has got more than one type available, let's just change the colour. And that's changed the colour of the boat as well. Very good, very good. Let's just take a look on here. View details. So we've got the net fishing boat. I'm going to add fishing boats on there and take the net fishing boat off the purple one. And now I'm wondering whether if I click on this, then we get the fishing route details. There we go. So the fishing boat is that small one. Let's change this to a small fishing boat. There we go. And we'll set that as yellow so we can tell the difference. There we go. Coming to drop off their goods. And that boat is going to change. So that one is going to disappear. Oh, there's the small version. Excellent. There we go. So that is quite different from this boat over here, isn't it? Or is it? Is it? Hang on, let me have a look. What's it got? It's got things in the back. It's got a thing on the top. Yeah, that is almost the same boat, isn't it? I think it is. Oh, that's right. We've just got the 3 different boats we can choose from. Of course, of course. And an easier way to get to them, we click on the main building. We've got them all listed down here. We can get the details, change the colours. Vehicles in use. That will be the vehicles that come out the back here and deliver the fish into the city. And if we just scroll to the top here, we've got options on our storage, how much it's holding of what. Of course, it's going to be fish. And also something that's now been added is a little bit more information on here. So instead of, I use the extended tooltips mod normally, where you hover over the building to get some information, which is okay. It sometimes gets in the way, but having it built into buildings like this. So we're seeing that this one's making a profit. We can get a drop down and get a breakdown of all of the costs that go into this building and their income, of course, and what they're making. And that is available on all commercial buildings. Let's find another. And who spotted this traffic in the background? Oh, good grief. I think this is the increased traffic that we're warned about when we upgrade to the new version of the game. I think these are all delivery trucks. They are all delivery vans bringing various items in. Oh, man. Well, that's something you got to watch out for when you're building ports and things in your city. Okay, so here's another commercial building in town, so we can see their income, all of the breakdown of their costs, how much profit, what they've got in the bank, and yeah, just a lot more information made available to us so we can make good decisions in building our cities. I'm loving it. Oh, look, here's the traffic. I wonder what's causing it. Yes. That very overbuilt bridge for a couple of ferries. Yeah, that's probably my fault causing all the traffic. Anyway, moving on. And something else that's been added as well, I'm pretty sure, is if we look at our outside connections and we scroll all the way down, we get this maroon color here, outside connection trade. And this building here is getting the items that it needs from outside of the city rather than internal, which it requires metal ore, and I don't believe there's actually any metal ore mining going on in the city. So again, that's good information which can possibly help you work out why a business may or may not be struggling. So I'm liking that update too. So let's take a look at the other new business that we've got. Obviously we've had oil drilling, but land-based for a while. We've now got offshore oil drilling. Now, this is something that may affect you. If you have a save that you're bringing into this new update, then unlike the fish, which have been added because of the depth of the water, offshore oil hasn't been automatically added. Now, if you're using mods, or when this mod is updated, the extra landscaping tools mod will give you the option to paint oil, and you can just put that anywhere. You could actually do that before you upgrade your game and then have it available to you, but probably too late by the time you're watching this. No, you've got a couple of days, haven't you? While you've got a couple of days, use that mod to paint some oil in the water in various places in your map. And then when the update comes out in a few days' time, you'll be ready. But I'm going to load up one of the new maps that are available to us to show you the offshore oil drilling options. Okay, so we have 5 new maps available to us: Driftwood Reach, Lakeside Harbour, Ribbon Isles, Sanctuary Bay, and Verdant Vale. And you can pause if you wish to check out the various details on each of these. I think I'm going to pick Driftwood Reach. Right, so this is the starting area of the map, and if we zoom out a little bit, I've unlocked all the tiles for the sake of testing. Look at natural resources, and we can see we have oil right in the middle here, and there's various patches around the playable area. So let's just set something up here. So first of all, for offshore oil drilling, you need to place this platform here. So let's pop that, and we need to give that some access to our road network. Let's just do something not too complicated like that. There we go. Excellent, looking good. Got some built-in storage, looking very nice. And then we click on here, and this is where all the goodies are hidden. So like before, we have a harbour pier. For this one, we need to go pretty big so we can fit our oil tankers in, and the larger we go, the more we can accommodate. So I'm just going to stick to this side at the moment. There we go. And at that size, we get a dock either side and a dock either side up there as well. Excellent. Right, now let's turn on this so we can see what we're doing. Right, so we click on here, and the next option is the Compliant Tower Oil Platform. What a great name. Obviously, it needs oil. It extracts and processes crude oil from rock formations beneath the seabed, designed for shallower waters, stationed closer to the shoreline where it remains anchored to the ocean floor. Requires an oil pipe connection to the offshore oil drilling harbour for transporting crude oil to the shore. So let's just pop one of those in, and yeah, let's just maybe pop 2 or 3. There we go. Along here, and we can see they're giving us that sign that they need an oil connection. So let's pop this in. There we go. I was waiting for it to show the snappy thing, which is good. We've got the green line. There we go. And then that is going to go, I'm assuming, into there. Yeah, excellent. So that just connects via a pipeline. Let's just take a look at that. Yeah, so just a very small platform collecting the oil for us. And then the next option on the list is the semi-submersible oil platform. So basically this is the one that the oil tankers would go out to, and these are huge. So let's maybe, well, we know the oil is all here, so let's maybe set one. There we go, resource available. We can see the little pop-up one there. How far down here could we go? Oh, there we go, quite a way along there. And then we need to get a route in between these. So we have some connection points we can join up. There we go, excellent. And then of course we need our oil tanker route. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to have that one like that. I'm going to have that one like that. And I'm hoping these are going to take the shorter routes. They are, excellent, there we go. And we'll leave that spare one, it doesn't have to be used. And we've got some storage as well. So 30 ton, 50 ton and 70 ton. And these can be added, there we go, like this. So we could probably take, there we go, some of those there just so we can see what they look like. Excellent. And then the larger ones over here as well. Yeah, we can butt those up. Very good. So some options for detailing there. Brilliant. Right, let's unpause and we can see all of our tankers spawning and heading out. And while we're waiting for that, again, we can click on here, scroll down, view the details, and we can choose a super tanker or an oil product tanker. So maybe let's just swap route 1 for that so we can see. And then, of course, we can change the color on these as well, which is great. And there we go. Once we zoned in some people to come and work here and get everything going, we have our tankers that are going out, and we've got the smaller version and the larger version over here as well. Both, of course, let's just slow this down a little bit and have a look. Both look absolutely fantastic in the detail. I am loving that. Little rescue boats on the back as well. Very nice, very nice. Nice con tower. Let's have a look over here. Nice hull. This is a crane. These are looking great. I'm loving them. And here we go, coming to pick up the oil and take that back, ready to be sold in our city. And of course, you don't need to set them up exactly like I have. You can set these up wherever you like, and then we can ship that outside the city as well to make tons of money. There we go, and back at the main depot, we can see it coming in, all the profit they're making, their bank balance, and I've got a connection going to the outside, so they should be able to sell that as well. And back in Paradise Cove, if we had that oil set up here, of course, that could come through our port, and that would be stored down here, crude oil, and then that could be shipped in and out via the cargo ships. Excellent. Well, we have even more to show you. Let's look at the new lighthouses and parks that are available. So we've got 4 different sizes of lighthouse, which obviously have different costs and different looks as well, and different bonuses to recreation. This one actually has some upgrades. It's got a little restaurant. I didn't know that. We'll pop that one there. And it's got a lighthouse museum as well. Fantastic. Which has given us some extra little bonuses. And it's like we can have multiple versions of those as well that we can place. Brilliant, very good. And then we've got, I think that's 9 different parks along here. And again, they all have different bonuses to outdoor recreation, that sort of thing. But we can see now we've got, oh yes, we've got some animations that are coming, which are looking really, really good. These like 3 different sort of takes on the same sort of thing, same sort of building, but looking nice. There we go. Oh, very good, very good. And now these you can imagine being placed right up against the harbour or ports that you're making. Yeah, really add a little bit of something to those. I don't think any of these have got any upgrades or anything like that. No, there we go. We've got those. We've got some signature buildings as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these are under the, let's have a look, commercial. To find this extra one over here, you need to pop on the European tab as well, which gives us an extra one on the end, or industrial, something like that. Anyway, you'll find it. But we've got, let's have a look here, the Bacon Bistro. Nice looking building. This one I really love with the wavy roof. The Maritime Museum. Again, going on the same sort of fishy harbour port theme that we've got going on. Very good. This is just ginormous. This is a conference centre, I believe. Yeah. Again, all sorts of different bonuses and such. And it's got a vehicle that it sends out. So interesting. Must pick people up, bring them back to the conference. Then we've got the Fish and Chippery Seafood Factory. So this is going to be taking in fish and producing food for us, which, you know, makes sense. And then this is the European one, the Villa Mare. There we go. Is that like horse villa? I don't know. What does that stand for? But we've got that dead bug. Oh, bed bug. What's a dead bug? Come, have your dead bugs here. That's just the business that's moved in. And then we've also got this one here, the Seafarers Shipyards. I mean, look at the size of this thing. All sorts of industry stuff going on there. Very nice looking building. What does that actually do? So what is that? Storing stuff, processing stuff. All kinds of ships are built here, from cruise liners to cargo ships. Oh, okay, that's what they're doing. And then we've got some props as well. So we've got these little yachts that we can place, and these little sailing boats. So these are individual ones that we can place. And then we've got some industry props. They're really, really small. So we've got to zoom right in. 3 different types of rope, a couple of different types of chum bucket or fishing net basket, it says. What's that one called there? Fishing net basket number 2, and fishing net box as well. Right. Oh man, so much. And there's more. And there's more. The next thing we got is bridges. We have 10 new movable bridges. A couple of those we've seen already. We've got 2 new double-decked bridges. We've got 8 new, what you class perhaps as normal bridges. And then we've also got some other assets and things that we'll look at in a moment too. Let's start with the movable bridges first of all. So we've got a 2-lane movable bridge. I'm going to use this, there we go, the picker from Find It, so it tells me what they're called. We've got the 2-lane drawbridge, that'll obviously open up through the middle, and a 4-lane drawbridge as well. And then placed very close to the water, we have a 6-lane drawbridge. Then we've got the Bascule or the lift bridges, the 4-lane highway, double train track, double-decked lift bridge, which is familiar to us. We've seen that one before. This one looks really cool. It's the 2-way train track lift bridge. We also have a double train track lift bridge, and this is a double tram lift bridge. So we're covering all the transport options. And then a double subway track lift bridge as well. Looks very fancy. And then this is a cable-stayed pedestrian drawbridge. So that's going to lift up either side. And then we have the pedestrian Bascule Bridge as well. And then back over here to the beginning, we have 10 non-lift bridges. And I just think some of these just look absolutely beautiful as well. So this is the 2-lane suspension bridge. Very, very nice. This is a 4-lane truss arch bridge. This one is a 4-lane extra dose bridge. And then we have the 4-lane one-way extra dosed bridge as well. No idea what the extra dose means. I thought that was to do with the fact that it had a double deck sort of to it, but that one doesn't, and it's called extra dose as well. So there we go. This is the 2-lane plus 4-lane double decked extra dose bridge. So there we go. We've got the 4-lane through there and the 2-lane on the top as well. That is really going to kill traffic, which is great. 6-lane suspension bridge. And then I think this is the 6-lane one-way suspension bridge. Then we have the 3-lane highway double-decked suspension bridge. So that is the highways going in both directions. So that is a fantastic bridge. I am liking that one a lot. Then we have a wooden covered pedestrian bridge as opposed to the normal covered pedestrian bridge, which would have been in here. This one, the covered. Yeah, so it's got a different, let's just get a bit closer, a different roof style to that one. Yeah, there we go. And then finally, we have the double subway track truss arch bridge. So, man alive, if you've got lots of places to place bridges, then this DLC has got the bridges for you. Then there's also a selection of new quay walls as well. So we've got the medium quay with 2-way road, and then this is a medium quay with 2-way road, but it's got the slightly different design on the front. I've just sort of matched them both up together. And then we've got the 4-lane version here with the 2 different designs on the front as well. And then we've got the pedestrian. Is that a pedestrian? Narrow quay with pedestrian path. placed very badly against the side there. We'll ignore that. And then a wide quay with pedestrian path as well with a deep rib pattern. And something I did notice here, we've got a wide pavement path, which wasn't in the list that I had. I'm pretty sure that's new. So I'm going to put it down there. If it isn't new and I'm mistaken, then fine. But there we go. I wanted to show that to you. Fantastic. And we also have a nice selection of piers as well. So we have a narrow concrete leisure pier with concrete pillars. And then a slightly different version, this one here with metal pillars. Although that one does have different lights and has different assets on here as well. Is that a tree or a little bush? Very nice, very nice. Then we have the narrow solid concrete leisure pier. I like that one. That is looking very cool. I could imagine using that as water breakaways and things in piers and inlets and stuff like that. Medium concrete leisure pier with concrete pillars. And then the same with metal pillars. And again, lovely detailing we've got in the middle there. So slightly different looking as well with the lights and with the detailing on there, which is great. So a medium solid concrete leisure pier, a nice larger one. These are under pathways, so they're all going to be walkable as well. Wide concrete leisure pier with concrete pillars. That is very nice around the outside. And this will be the one with metal pillars. So again, different design to the legs, to the gates, and on the top as well. And then we have wide solid concrete leisure pier. So a larger one of those. Very nice selection of quays. Right, next on the list is a new zoning category. If we come into commercial, we have here the EU low density waterfront business and the NA low density waterfront business. And I've laid out the buildings here for us to have a look at. So these three here are the level ones, starting with the European businesses. We can see, yeah, these are waterfront businesses. They're very good. Very good. I mean, when you zone these all together and get them in different sizes, I think they'll look a lot better as well, but definitely look like the sort of shops that you're going to see along the front by the coast. Then you've got sort of like right hand, left hand. So they do sort of butt up well to each other to make like a nice promenade or something like that. Loads of detail, lots of eateries. That's what I'm seeing here. These are all the level ones. And then we've got all sorts of different ones for the levels 3 and 5 as well. It continues the EU all the way down. There we go. So some of these look the same, but that's like a larger lot space. They pushed it back a bit at the front, extra line at the back, and yeah, looks different. And then I put this little path here. So these are the American versions of it, and you get like the very good sort of American diner look to these. Let's continue along here. I like these as well for making like a big sort of mall as well, and even not necessarily along the waterfront. I think that'll be good for that as well. There we go. There's some, and here's the last few. And then what I'm probably going to do is there's a few big game changes that I want to tell you about. So I'm just going to set up a little camera to run along the level 3 and level 5, and I can talk about those while that's happening. So some changes that you really want to keep in mind when you load in your saves from prior to the Bridges and Ports 1.3.4 update. Increased noise pollution from zone industry. So that's the radius affected by noise pollution. So you're going to need extra space between your industrial and residential zones. So there might be some changes you need to have to make there to how your city is laid out. You're also going to see a population drop when you first load an existing save, which is expected. So there's been some incorrect calculations in the citizen numbers. It's going to take, 5-10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer if you've got a really big city, just to sort of even that out. And we've had that sort of thing before with some of the previous updates, haven't we? Also, increased industrial traffic. Yep, we've seen that one. So there's going to be resource balancing, also new resources that you might be setting up, go into buildings before they level up and all that sort of thing. So expect to see lots of traffic. Again, just get your game running, just let it run for a while. Go and have some lunch, have a beer, have a cup of tea, and then come back and start building in it. And we also have a few fixes that some of us were using mods to correct before. So the office max workers decreased to 5 out of 5. That's been fixed. The incorrect calculation of max number of employees in commercial zone buildings is fixed. Recycling centre not producing resources and exporting them has been fixed. Prison vans not spawning has been fixed. Also, specialised industry buildings not levelling up, earning a profit and collapsing has been fixed. High rent for single homes, so that's interesting. The home path finding to make the rich household prefer low density and the poor prefer high density, so that should be good. Obviously with the high density being a cheaper place to live. Building abandonment has now been re-enabled. That's been turned off, I think, for a patch or two, something like that. And there were some bugs around that. So watch out for that. If a building becomes abandoned, you need to look into why that's happening. And also resource chains and company profitability has been balanced. There's been an improved production panel, which we're going to have a look at in a minute for the production chains. We've got the selected info panel, which we've seen gives us more information. The outside connections, we've seen that as well. Tooltip when you hover over zone buildings now shows you the level and the number of residents, and also the vehicle multi-select. Finally, there's been some animation added to the radio telescope and satellite uplink. Yep, they are definitely moving. Very good. I'm liking that, and we've seen a few other things with animations now, so hopefully they keep adding more and more animations to the game. This is what we want to see to make things feel alive. Brilliant. And also there's been an improved water simulation, which is going to be automatically updated whenever you load up your games, and I have to say it does look a bit different, and it seems to act a lot better and quicker as well. Any other details on that, I think we're going to find the more we play the game. Okay, let's have a look at the shiny and new production chain diagram and information. I am loving this. One of the things that I'm constantly asking for is more information about what is going on in the city so you can make good decisions, and here we have it. So I'll just talk through what's going on here. So this section at the top is to help you understand the information at the bottom. This is your production data as it says. So it's telling you for wood, how we're going to get that wood in. So we're going to get that in with forestry. We don't have any deficit because, let me give you an example of one with deficit. There we go. So if we had deficit, that's what this red section would show. Maybe let's just pick one that's got everything. Here we go. How about this one? So oil drilling. That's how we're getting oil in. We are drilling 17 kilograms of crude oil. We have a deficit of 21 kilograms, so we need more. What is happening with our oil? So our crude oil is being processed. So we're processing the crude oil via our industry. We can see this little information over the side there. This is our industry, these little yellow squares, into this item here, petrochemicals and chemicals. So that is what's happening, but we can easily see the deficit and how much the deficit is. So if we go back over to here, forestry, so that's our forestry industry. We know how that works. We are getting the wood, which is this one here, and we have a surplus. So this little green arrow, we have a surplus of 0.1 of a ton, but 16 kilograms of it is being used in our industry to turn into planks. So some can be used for heating, processing. We have a look here. This is a good example. So grain, we know, can go to food, to petrochemicals, to beverages, to being exported and sold. So we are, in our agriculture, producing 0.1 tons. 12 kilograms is going to industry and is being made into convenience food. 68 kilograms is a surplus. So that is being surplus, that is going out and being exported. So that's what that little symbol there is. And then 14 is going to petrochemicals and 7 is going to beverages. So a lot more information on here, which I am really enjoying. So obviously we can see we've got a complete deficit of coal. We need that much for electricity. I've got a coal power plant I just threw down here to give us some power. And that's the same for all of the goods. We get this little chart, and sometimes you sort of look at it, oh, what's all this information? But when you just sort of follow it logically through, it all makes sense. And I like it. I like it a lot. Let's just grab one down here. Some of these, it's like, I don't know why that is so long. What is it trying to tell us? There, I don't know. But yeah, so we've got 11 kilograms of minerals that are coming in and plastic. So this is in the section of processed goods. So we're processing electronics. 18 kilograms of those two are being made into electronics in our service building. So generally that's offices, and then some of that is going out to telecom. We've got a deficit of 6 kilograms in the same buildings, which is for telecom down here. That was for software. So yeah, to me it makes sense. I like the information. It's a lot easier to understand. Might just take a minute or two to sort of wrap your head around it. Here we go. This is where our planks are being used, those 7 kilograms from earlier, into industry, into furniture, which is being sold as a surplus. So suddenly to me now it all starts making sense. What have we not got here? What is this? Lodging. So we've actually got a deficit of lodging. So we've got a need of some lodging of our consumers. They're saying, please give us some lodging. But we have plenty of food for them to eat. So maybe they can do that instead. We don't have any entertainment, don't have any recreation. Not surprised, this is a completely empty city. So I am really enjoying the new production tab. Thank you for giving us this information. I'll have a quick look at this in our other bigger city. Okay, so we're back in Paradise Cove with its traffic all over the place. Yep. We knew that was going to happen, so that's fine. We'll just not worry about that too much. Let's look at our production tab and fish. We're making kilotons of fish, which are mostly a surplus, although some are being sent to be processed into food, which is good. Oh, that's kilotons and that's tons. Wow, that is a lot of fish. Something we don't have is any oil in here. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Let's go down here and have a look at our cars. No deficit on those, which is good. Deficit on planks. I don't think there's any wood production in here. Oh, there is some wood production, isn't there? But obviously we need some more. So yeah, very, very interesting information. Let's look at the noise pollution. A bit hard to tell the difference because we can't compare it to before. But definitely once we get into New Zealand and all of that, then yeah, we're going to see, and Kettlewick, we're going to see the difference that is going to make. Wow. And then I think there's something that I forgot over here to add into our port. So I just wanted to have a look at the auxiliary gates. So maybe let's add a little auxiliary gate over here. And then we've got medium gates as well. Maybe let's pop one over there. And I think we can just attach that via a normal road. There we go. So that just gives you another way in and out, which is good. Going to help with the traffic if your main gate is not really keeping up with it. Is there a smaller road we can attach here? Little one-way road. Oh, let's just use this one. It's fine. We'll attach it off the side and that can just come into there. Yep, there we go. Excellent. So that's how that works. And there was also... yeah, we've got the employee canteen, which I haven't added yet. So we'll pop that one on. So, yep, that's the bonuses it gives. Some happiness. Port security. I think we can just squeeze that one in there. Yeah, very good. And also emergency response as well. So that gives us some bonuses. Fire safety and, yeah, security police. All that sort of thing. And then we've got the Intermodal train terminal, which it says train terminal enhances cargo transportation and handling by allowing reach stackers to transfer containers directly between ships and train. Oh, wow. So is that literally just a normal train? It is a normal train line. Let's see if we can fit that inside here somewhere. Well, good luck to me. There's not much room left. Okay, and just for the sake of getting it working, I've used this little bridge that we've got our terminal attached to and popped it down over here. And we can see the stackers working along the road. There we go. So they're going to head over the bridge into the port to grab all the good stuff. This really is not the best port I'm ever going to make, don't worry. It's just for purposes of showing you what's going on in the game. Is there anything we can add on to that? No, but we get a little bit of information as well, which I am enjoying. Brilliant. So what do you think about this DLC? Does it have enough in it to make it worth your money and worth the wait if you've already pre-ordered the pack that had this in many months ago? Well, that's up to you to decide. I just think this is a fantastic DLC. I've just spent all day just touching the surface of all of the new items we've got. All the ports, the ferries, the fishing, the oil, the lighthouse, the parks, the paths, the quays, the signature buildings, the zoning, the maps, the bridges, and of course all the fixes as well. And we still have traffic, which has just made me so happy. So head on down to the description. You can find the link to the Bridges and Ports DLC, and you can find all the details and order it for yourself. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it as well. It is out on the 29th at 5 PM, so be sure to be ready at your Steam on your PCs to download that and enjoy it. And don't forget, with mods as well, it takes a couple of days for them to update. Thank you very much for watching. Man, this has taken a lot of time, so please leave a like if you enjoyed this look at all of this new stuff, and subscribe as well if you're new, because we're going to be putting it all into place into New Zealand and Kettlewick, my American and British city. Looking forward to that immensely. Thank you. Have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.